G'day everyone, it's Doctor Colin here. Welcome to yet another Powwow podcast. This time it's a special two-part powwow. We're going to be reviewing a movie that we've just seen. And with me is Pcardi.
Yo.
Freakster.
Hey.
And Crybabe.
Hello.
And who wants to say what movie we've just been to see?
Suicide Squad!
Yeah.
Jungle Book.
Pinocchio's nose.
So we went and saw Suicide Squad tonight. Now it came out here on Thursday, but obviously because some people work and other people don't have a lot of money, it had to wait until the weekend. So that's why we went tonight.
Working for the weekend. Okay, sorry.
So,
that out.
what we're going to do is we're going to review it in two parts. The first part, which is what you're watching now, is going to be just a general review. There's not going to be any spoilers or anything in it. It's just going to be like an overview of what we liked and didn't like. And then part two will be the spoilerific one, where if you've seen the movie already, or you really don't give a crap about whether the cool bits are spoiled for you or not, we'll talk about it there. So we'll try and keep it relatively short, which isn't too hard when we're doing a spoiler-free one, because it means that there's not as much we can talk about. But I'll go around and just get your general thoughts. So we'll start with you, Pcardi. What were some of the more general things that you enjoyed about this film?
As this is the non-spoilery part, I'll start on this. The popcorn tasted okay.
Okay. All right.
The Coke
great
was at a
start.
good consistency for the water to Coke syrup, and the characters seemed to be having fun on the stage and sort of being
On the stage? Okay.
on the
We're watching Suicide Squad, the theater production. Okay.
Shakespearean.
The Shakespearean Suicide Squad.
Is this a pistol doth see?
What?
That was one of Deadshot's lines. I remember that. That was awesome.
Word soup. What the hell was that? That's what happens when someone's reciting Shakespeare after being hit in the head. So you thought that the actors were having fun?
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a fun romp with murderers and psychopaths.
Yeah.
You know, a nice wholesome movie.
One for all the
kiddies.
family.
So, did you have any particular standout characters that you enjoyed, or?
I think Deadshot and Harlequin were definitely made to be big, like the big shot characters in this one. But I did like Amanda Waller and how much of a not so nice good guy she is.
One of the things that was key to this film is that they kept saying it was about bad versus evil. So I think that was a big part of the Amanda Waller character, is that she's not a good guy. And she does bad things, but she doesn't necessarily do them for bad reasons, if that makes sense. Alright, so Amanda Waller was like your favourite out of this film?
No, I just liked how she was portrayed. I liked Deadshot and Harlequin a lot, but yeah, I thought that would be.
Okay, was there like a set piece that you enjoyed without it being spoiler, or do you want to save that for part two?
The part where the thing happened, that was a good part.
Very informative. Alright, Freakster, what were your thoughts, generally speaking, on the film? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you agree with Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, don't start with Rotten Tomatoes. Freaking... Oh my gosh. Rotten Tomatoes, they clearly were watching a different movie. Well, for me, because I'm not as prominent with the DC universe as you are, but I still like Suicide. I still like DC characters such as, well, the well-known ones anyway, like Harlequin, and I was about to say Marlequin. That was interesting.
Marlequin.
Yeah, I don't know why I was about to, Harlequin and Deadshot and Killer Croc. Well, actually, El Diablo's a new one for me, but I have to admit he did actually become my favorite character nearing the end. Um,
Because he's a bit of a wet blanket, ironically, throughout the first half of the film.
yeah.
But he when he comes good and he starts doing his thing, it steps everything up, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it actually points out as well on why he was a wet blanket in the first place. Which I kind of enjoyed the reason why he didn't want to, use his abilities, which was good. I liked that. That was the other point that I liked. I'm sure it's in the trailer. We see like the bar scene where they're all drinking. Yeah, there's a good poignant moment in there, and that's cool. I like that. That was a good thing in there. I like that.
Was there a particular moment that you think generally you enjoyed a lot more?
Harlequin changing.
They could have left that one on a little bit longer, I think.
Yeah, that could have gone on a little longer than it should have, but okay. But they had to clearly had to cut. I kind of like the fact that they were all like, there was she was changing and like everyone around her just like stopped. I didn't even realize that she was literally changing in front of them. So she was still decked out in her prisoner's clothing, and then she just changed right there and then. She really didn't care about the fact that she was going to be publicly
Naked?
Yeah, that's the word.
Naked?
Yeah.
In the altogether.
Yeah, that's right. Birthday suit. Yeah, so...
Well, that sort of... it's almost like a weaponized sexuality with Harley Quinn, I think. That comes up a lot. Like, even at the beginning when we first see her, there's a lot of like hypersexuality with her character, which is very in keeping with her character from the comics. I'm not talking like the Batman comics per se, but definitely the Suicide Squad ones, where she is a very overtly sexual character, and she uses that to her advantage, and I think that came across really well with this interpretation. Moving on, Crybabe. Favourite character, favourite scene, general thoughts?
My favourite character was Harley Quinn. Definitely, hands down. For reasons that I can't say in this one.
Okay.
Also, my favourite thing that I liked about the film that they did was at the beginning they actually gave like a brief description of each of the characters, because I hadn't heard of any of them except for Harley Quinn. She's the only one who I'd heard of before, and the fact that it actually like gave like a brief like description and like what they did and whatever else was kind of cool, and I like that because it means that people who aren't necessarily so much into like the comics and stuff like that, they can understand what's happening and get to know the people as well. So I thought that was really good.
So overall, you enjoyed the film?
Yes, I loved it.
So would you recommend it to other people?
Yes, definitely. It's an awesome film. Everyone should see it.
So let's sort of go around and talk about maybe something that jumped out as not quite gelling, or that didn't sit right with us when watching it. So for me, I think the main thing was realising how much they must have cut, just even from the trailers to the final cut of the film. It seems like they were kind of going out into the editing room with the intention of having an ultimate cut like they did with Batman vs Superman, which I think, it kind of was detrimental, because it left you thinking and feeling that there must have been more to this than what we got. So that kind of ruined the experience a little bit for me, but that was such a minor thing. It was neither here nor there. It still worked, I think, as a film. What about you, Pcardi? What do you think might have worked to improve it?
No, I think they were trying to cram too much exposition in at some points. Like the Joker thing seemed a bit displaced. And it didn't really have much to do with the actual story. It was just there to lead on to something else.
That sort of ties in with my critique as well, that it felt like there was stuff missing that maybe if it was left in the film it would have made it all sort of feel like it fitted together better.
Yeah.
How about you, Freakster? What are your sort of thoughts and feelings and opinions on what could have been improved?
I actually had that feeling as well. the same as you did, Doctor Colin, during the movie. It felt okay. So it was a finished movie, but it felt like it was unfinished. It's a weird like contrast. I don't know. It was a great movie from start to end, but like it felt that there was some sort of incomplete bits in it. I don't know. It
sort of felt like they were aiming for something and there's just something slightly lacking.
Yeah, it kind of it's the same feeling I get when I watch a French movie.
Okay, you're gonna have to elaborate on that a little bit because I think a lot of the viewers probably wouldn't have watched many French films.
The French movies that I've seen, they tend to not end. They end, but not end.
So they're kind of like open-ended.
So yeah, so it's like I guess the best example I can think of that's not French, and hopefully a lot of people have seen, is My Fair Lady. That ending really annoys me a lot because there's no closure at all. And that's what it kind of feels like when I was watching Suicide Squad.
Right, so you got this kind of feeling like they never really closed things off satisfactorily. Yeah,
and I'm thinking, and it might be alluding to Suicide Squad 2, that's why they're doing that. But it was just, you needed some form of, ka-trunk, or some form of,
Ka-chunk.
Yeah, you needed like a claptrap at the end of it or something, doing dubstep. I don't know, just freaking
it needed a better closure than
closure. Okay.
Yeah, I understand. I got the same feeling. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Crybabe. Is there anything in this film that jumped out at you that maybe they could have improved upon?
I sort of agree with everyone else about it not feeling like it was closed as well. And like the ending was good, but it didn't like make sense to me why they did that, if that makes sense. So that's why it doesn't feel closed to me. Like I liked the ending, but I don't know. It wasn't
satisfying.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty much like, I think that would be the general consensus, I would imagine. Because people like to have things closed off. There's a whole psychological aspect to that humans love having things completed. That's why people do things like they collect Pokemon cards or play Pokemon Go excessively, or they complain whenever they watch a TV show and there's a cliffhanger. Because humans as beings need to have that closure, that completion, in order to feel like they're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And so whenever they're sort of watching something and it just doesn't, you see what I mean? How awkward did that feel for you guys?
Okay, yeah. For a human being, look, to be completely honest, the only thing that a human being should never have closed is their mouth and asshole and their nose and ear holes.
What?
That's probably all those things that shouldn't be closed, but everything else has to be closed.
There's a few people that could probably do with having their mouths closed that I've come across over time.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And based on the diet habits of some people, probably having their assholes closed a lot of the time too would be good.
Oh, shit.
Exactly. Alright, so yeah, no, I think that that seems like a pretty that's a consensus, that it felt like it was incomplete and it didn't have the closure that it needed to be satisfying. So I'll go around and I'll get your scores. So let's what shall we measure this in? We'll measure
Skulls.
it in
Skulls.
out of skulls?
Yeah.
Okay. So out of 10 skulls, Pcardi, what would you rate Suicide Squad?
Tricky.
Tricky's not a number.
We're doing one as
So
one
one
skull
is
is
it was
bad and-
awful, and 10 is like Citizen Kane.
6 skulls and 3 shot glasses.
What? Okay, alright, fine, let's roll with that.
I don't know how that works, but sure.
We'll
Yeah,
round it up to
okay.
7 skulls. I think it was a decent movie.
Okay, goes up to 7 skulls. Okay,
7.
cool.
Okay. What about you, Freakster? What would you give it?
I will go for an 8 skulls.
8. Yep.
Ooh.
And Crybabe?
Food.
I would go 8.5.
Oh,
One it up the competition.
yeah, up
defenses.
the ante.
I would give it 8.5 as well.
Okay.
And chances are, when I do get to see the Ultimate Edition, which inevitably will be coming out on Blu-ray and DVD very soon, it'll probably be a 9. So yeah, 8.5 for me. Crybabe,
8.5.
Freakster,
8.
and Pcardi.
Saving.
If you would like to learn more about the movie and get into more spoilerific territory, we're going to do that in the next installment, which we're going to record in just a second. But if you're happy just having a vague understanding of whether the film is enjoyable or not, yeah, this is it. So
Yeah.
lots of good
watch it.
action, fun characters, the performances are really good, the music is fantastic, and I'm not just saying that because there was everything from the Animals to Black Sabbath in the soundtrack. It's just everything works really, really well, and it's a generally very good experience. Would you guys agree with that statement?
Yes.
I'm good.
Watch it, taste it, enjoy it. Lick it sexually once you get the DVD. That's how
God.
much you should like it.
Good lord. Alright. If you have any comments about the movie that are not spoilery, don't be one of those guys. Don't be that guy who goes looking for the non-spoiler reviews and puts the spoilers in the comments section, because we don't accept that kind of douchey behaviour here.
And don't tell us anything about the ending, about how they can see dead people. Yeah, there you go. Wait, wrong movie.
What?
Okay, never mind.
No! Spoil it for me!
It's silent goodbye from me. And you guys can feel free to
Everyone
sign
else
off as
is
well.
just- yeah, everyone just left. Apparently, they're gone. Freaks are signing out. See you all next time.
I'm not signing out. You're here with me forever!
Goodbye, everyone. I'll take him with me.
Alright. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.